Where are you watching from and how old are you? Leave a comment below. I genuinely love seeing people in this community from all over the world, especially those who are starting to care about kidney health before things get too far. Do you know what's scariest about kidney disease? It's not loud. It doesn't scream with intense pain like a heart attack. It doesn't send obvious signals like a broken bone. A lot of people live normally, eat what seems okay, go to work, stay active, until one day they go in for a routine checkup, and the lab results stop them in their tracks. High creatinine, lower GFR. The doctor says kidney function is declining, and they think, how is that possible? I don't even feel sick. That's the trap. Kidney function can slowly decline for years without you noticing. And by the time you feel constant fatigue, swollen feet, shortness of breath, loss of appetite, itchy skin, low urine output, or foamy urine, sometimes the situation has already gone pretty far. But here's the good news. Besides following your doctor's guidance, you can still support your kidneys every day with simple everyday foods. Not miracle pills. Not reverse kidney disease in 7 days tricks. I hate that kind of talk because it makes people delusional, lazy about real change, and then they pay the price later. In today's video, I'm going to share 4 vegetables, really 4 very common plants that are often mentioned for supporting kidney function, reducing inflammation, helping flush waste through urine, and supporting healthy creatinine levels naturally. Before we get into the list, let's quickly understand the 2 most important markers anyone focused on kidney health should know: creatinine and GFR. I'll keep it simple. Creatinine is a waste product made when your muscles use energy and break things down. Your body makes creatinine every day and your kidneys filter it out of the blood and remove it through urine. So when creatinine rises, it may be a sign that your kidneys aren't filtering as efficiently as they should. However, creatinine can also be influenced by muscle mass, exercise level, dehydration, a high-meat diet, and certain medications, so don't panic over a single number. What matters is the trend over time and the overall health picture. GFR, glomerular filtration rate, is an estimate of how well your kidneys filter your blood. Simply put, the higher the GFR, the better your kidneys are filtering. A lower GFR may suggest your kidney function is weakening. So if you see creatinine going up or GFR going down, that's a sign to take your lifestyle seriously and build a plan to support your kidneys. Alright, now let's get into the most important part: 4 vegetables that may support kidney health. And let me say this, clearly these foods can support your health, but they do not replace medical treatment. If you have kidney disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, or if you take diuretics, blood pressure medication, or blood thinners, talk to your doctor before making major changes. Being smart means prevention and coordination, not blind confidence. The first one is Houttenia cordata. This plant is very common in many Asian countries, especially Vietnam. But what's interesting is that many people treat it as just a cooling side herb, without realizing it's often mentioned for supporting urinary tract and kidney health in a few ways. First, fish mint may gently increase urine output. When you urinate better, your body has more opportunity to flush out waste. And when the kidneys are already handling a heavy load, supporting steady urine flow may help reduce stagnation. Second, fish mint contains compounds often discussed for antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties, which can be useful because urinary tract irritation and long-term low-grade inflammation aren't good for the roading inflammatory properties. Kidneys. Third, fish mint contains flavonoids, antioxidant compounds that may support small blood vessels. And remember, the kidneys depend on a dense network of tiny blood vessels to filter the blood. When blood vessels become weak, inflamed, or stiff, filtration becomes harder. Using fish mint can be simple. Some people eat about 10 to 15 fresh leaves per day if their body tolerates it, or brew it as tea a few times a week. But here's the truth. Not everyone tolerates it well. If your digestion is sensitive, larger amounts may cause discomfort. Don't try to prove you're tough. Health is not a fitness contest. Start small, observe your body, and adjust. The second one is cilantro, also called coriander. In the US, cilantro is common in Mexican food and many salads, but most people see it as just a garnish. However, cilantro is often mentioned for helping the body process and clear unwanted substances that can build up over time. Some research and observations suggest cilantro may support the body's process of clearing certain heavy metals like lead, mercury, and aluminum, and it's also often discussed in relation to supporting uric acid balance. High uric acid can be linked to gout and may be associated with kidney stone risk in some people. And what's interesting is that cilantro may have a mild diuretic effect, meaning it can support urination without being too harsh. For many older adults, you don't always need something strong. You need something gentle, consistent, and sustainable. If you want to try it, a simple method is to boil a handful of fresh cilantro in water and drink it like an herbal tea. You can drink it once or twice a day, a few days per week. Start with a smaller amount at first to see how your body responds. And again, if you're on medication or have a medical condition, check for interactions and talk to a professional. Don't watch one video and do something reckless. Strength isn't being reckless. Strength is controlling your actions. The third one is celery. Celery is talked about a lot when it comes to kidney health, and the biggest reason is that it may support increased urine output. When urine flow is steady, it may help the body flush waste and excess salt more efficiently. But celery isn't just about peeing more. Celery also contains plant compounds like apigenin and luteolin, which have been studied for anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic inflammation is one of the quiet ways kidneys get damaged over time. You may not feel it today, you see the consequences years later. So a diet pattern that reduces inflammatory burden may matter. Celery is also often mentioned for supporting healthy blood pressure. And you already know this high blood pressure is one of the top causes of long-term kidney damage. You can use celery in many ways: celery juice, salads, soups, or lightly cooked dishes. If you juice it, you can combine it with cucumber or apple to make it easier to drink. But here's an important warning: if you have low blood pressure or take blood pressure medication, don't drink celery juice in extreme amounts without guidance. Too much of anything can become harmful. The fourth one is bitter melon. Not everyone likes the bitter taste, but bitter melon is often discussed for supporting blood sugar levels. And this is extremely important for kidney health. If you have diabetes or your blood sugar is often high, your kidneys are under a lot of pressure. High blood sugar can damage small blood vessels, and the kidneys rely on those tiny vessels to filter waste. When blood sugar is better controlled, the kidneys may breathe easier over time. Beyond blood sugar, bitter melon contains compounds that may support waste removal and a healthier inflammatory response. This may be useful for people dealing with multiple issues at once: diabetes, high blood pressure, metabolic problems, and chronic inflammation. You can use bitter melon in soups, stir-fries, or drink the juice in moderation a few times a week. But don't drink bitter melon juice on an empty stomach. If you're sensitive, some people feel nausea or stomach discomfort. Start small and always listen to your body. Now I want you to pause and look at the bigger picture. These 4 vegetables sound simple, but the real issue isn't whether you know them. The real issue is whether you actually do it. A lot of people watch a video like this, nod along, and then go right back to eating poorly, sleeping late, drinking little water, eating too much salt and sugar, living under constant stress, and hoping one vegetable will save their whole life. That's not how it works. That's lazy thinking. Your kidneys need a healthy environment. If you truly want to support kidney function, combine the basics. Drink enough water appropriate for your condition. Manage blood pressure. Manage blood sugar. Reduce ultra-processed foods. Cut down on salt. Move your body regularly. Sleep enough and get checkups. Then add supportive foods like fish, mint, cilantro, celery, and bitter melon consistently. Let me emphasize this: no vegetable replaces medical care. No vegetable reverses kidney disease overnight. But food can become part of a long-term strategy that reduces burden on the body, supports elimination, and builds healthier habits. When you do it consistently, you may notice a difference in energy, how light you feel, and overall stability. More importantly, you create better conditions for your body to recover within its limits. Before we end, let me ask you something simple out of these 4. Which one do you eat most often: fish, mint, cilantro, celery, or bitter melon? Leave a comment below. I read your comments, and I use them to create the next videos based on what you actually need. If this video helped you, please hit like, subscribe for more health content, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your real-world experiences help me create better content tailored to your needs. Thanks for watching. Take care of your kidneys now while you still have a choice, because when your body forces you to choose, you usually won't like the options. I'll see you in the next video.